Welcome back to the show, everybody. Welcome back to the Uber Tier podcast. It is Monday. It's the Monday mashup. I'm flying solo tonight. Mark's caught up, so he won't make it tonight. So I'm flying solo. So make sure you jump into the chat there. Give it all the support you can. Ask me anything you want, basically. Anything bar anything to do with Liverpool, to be honest. But yeah, we will be talking about the Premier League results. We'll reflect on them at the weekend. We will be talking about the Champions League. We'll be talking about the relegation battle. We'll be talking about the title race, if you still want to call it the title race run in. I think it's done at this stage now. I can't see City have the consistency that they would need now to rail Arsenal back in. I just don't see it. If anyone's going to drop more points, if anything, it looks like it's going to be City. And it was telling. I mean, that result against Everton the other day for Arsenal just was really, really telling. Like, to push it to that limit where Everton must have thought they were home and hosed, but coughing up 2 goals. And we will touch on Max Dowman as well. He's going to be a sensational player, isn't he? Fair play to him. Imagine that, like 16 odd years of age, and to be able to do that and stuff like that's absolutely amazing. Most of us are 16 years of age. We're going around on mountain bikes, having the crack playing with our friends and sitting our juniors there, or intermediates there, depending on what age you are and stuff like that. This lad's balling out in front of 60 odd thousand people in the Emirates, breaking away and scoring goals and all that kind of stuff. We have 7 matches tonight as well that we're going to keep an eye on for you as well. We have a full listing of the Electricity Premier League as well, so we're going to be going through that. And then we're also going to be following Brentford and Wolves, and we're also going to be following Portsmouth and Derby in the Championship. So we'll keep you abreast of anything. We keep you abreast of anything that happens there. We'll run through the scores at the moment. Not a whole lot at the moment. Nearly 60 minutes in the early starts in the Premier Division. No goals in all those 4 games, but the real goals have come at Galway 2-2 tonight against Waterford. 46 minutes gone there. They were the later kickoff. I think they were the 8 o'clock kickoff. Derby and Portsmouth and Derby still 1-0 to Derby, an early goal on by one Sammy Smodics. Morris is one of Morris's favourite players. He always talks about Sammy Smodics. And we'll keep an eye on everything else. And big up to Brentford as well, especially winning 2-1 at the moment against Wolves. But also the boy Thiago getting a goal as well. And what a thrill for that boy at 24 years of age. I think it is being called up for the first time to the Brazilian squad. And well deserved, I have to say as well. So fair play to Igor Thiago as well. Absolutely brilliant. So if you can, make sure you're smashing up the likes as well. If you're following us tonight on here, anything you want to go through and stuff like that. Come on, Ted, do you think that Richarlison goal will be the death nail for Spurs? Keep the manager in the job. Yeah, I don't know, Ted. I'm not too sure. It was just a sickener, Whatever about coughing up a goal to him is just, it's so frustrating. I even had to do the reaction yesterday because I said if I did it in the car this morning, I'd probably end up fucking crashing it. I was on a fucking mad one, so it was just a fucking nightmare, So, I don't know. It could be because I think if they had a lost, I think they definitely would have canned them out the door, wouldn't they, and brought in either Sherwood or Ryan Mason or someone like that, I suppose. I don't know. I don't think they bring it in. I don't. It's kind of alluded to the fact that they even want it. So we'll see what happens there. It's going to be very, very interesting. So yeah, it could be more of a problem than a point gained. Let's see what happens. It's so tight down there at the moment in the battle for the relegation battle and stuff like that. And I think talking of West Ham as well, I was saying to the boys in the WhatsApp group the other day, I just started watching that Danny Doyer's Caravan Park, and it's absolutely quality. It's such fun and stuff like that, It made me think about it, obviously, with Jared Bowen being married to his daughter Danny and stuff like that and all. It was funny and stuff like that. But if you haven't watched it, it's well worth a watch. I'm a big fan of Danny Dyer. He's quality, I mean, you can't but not like him. Keith, what's the crack, pal? Can we end the season now so we can stop watching that Liverpool dross on the TV? Well, I have to endure it, Keith, on Wednesday night because we will be doing a watch along for the Galatasaray game. So we'll see what happens there. You know what I mean? It's just another one. Since I started doing, and maybe I'm the problem, since I started doing these watch alongs, I've had some indifferent results and stuff like that and all. But if you can, join us Wednesday night for Liverpool versus Galatasaray. Who knows? We may go out and put on a performance, but we have to score 2 goals. That's been a problem this season as well, hasn't it? So we'll see what happens there. Of course, we are back on your screens tomorrow night as well, 8 o'clock Pro Wrestling Weekly, where we'll be going through Raw and AEW Revolution and the road to Vegas and everything else in between that has to be covered. It's not good at the moment. The football is crap and the wrestling's not much better. So we'll see. Aces in the chat. Liverpool versus ours is rumoured for August and Aviva. Yeah, apparently it's almost confirmed as far as I heard and stuff like that. And also, yeah, that'll be one to go to and have a bit of crack. Absolutely, maybe a bit of a made up for the upper tier, the Shankly Sessions division of the upper tier, let's say. Also, there's talk we may have a little trip going on over to All In as well, so we'll see what happens there. Even for people who don't like AEW, they could come along and just have a bit of crack. Acers, hopefully Slot is gone when that happens. Yeah, it's just weird, isn't it? At the moment, it's just such a like you hear Dominic Szoboszlai after the game and all, and the comments that are coming out and all, and the players must have really felt it yesterday from the fans that the fans weren't happy. You know what I mean? There was a lot of booing at the end of the game and all, and I don't think it was purely aimed at Arne Slot. I think a lot of it was the players as well. The players were really poor yesterday. The way they just folded in that final 20 minutes, and to be honest, that match was another 5 or 10 minutes we would have lost, and we could have easily lost it. Look at the chances Richarlison had. They had more chances than us. Like, that's shocking. That is shocking. I did hear as well, if any of our usual League of Ireland OGs are in the chat as well. Mark sent me a little video earlier. Was it kicking off before kickoff between Shelbourne and Bows? Bit of shithousery on the warm-up or something like that. Mark sent me a video. I didn't get to fully watch it and stuff like that, but I heard there was a little bit of trouble beforehand. Not unusual, I have to say. Ted, I went to the first ever All In. Don't think any other will beat it. Ted, I'm just using it as a weekend away in London and hopefully pick up a game. Maybe might be a decent Premier League game on around London as well. Like I said before with people, me, it's just a getaway with the lads, really. You know, the wrestling is really a byproduct of it. I've said it before, even on the WrestleMania trips. It is amazing to be in a stadium with 70,000 wrestling fans, but like, for me, the highlights for me is going meeting the legends at WrestleCon and stuff like that and all, you know, not necessarily the core of WrestleMania. Mark is not on tonight, Keith. He can't make it tonight. I'm flying solo tonight. Flying solo, just like Han in Star Wars. Solo all the way. Just to let you know, scores look like they're still the same. Nothing changed. 48 minutes gone in the Brentford game, 51 in the Galway Waterford game, 50 in Portsmouth Derby, and the rest are all, as you were, nil-nils, all into the 65th minute, 66th minute, and all that stuff. Dan Dolan in the chat. How are you, Dan? Hope you're good. Hope you didn't do any damage over the weekend in the downhill slaloms on the mountain bikes and all. Subbing off Rio and Verse, but keeping Gakpo on was the biggest waste of 3 substitutions I've ever seen. Do you know, I would agree with you there to a point, and I would have agreed with you for most of the match. But if you look at the time when he took Gakpo off, that was the time when Gakpo was racing up in the middle and he was actually doing stuff and he was creating and he was making things happen and he was bringing a bit of energy and tempo. You know, now listen, the previous 70, 80 minutes or whatever was just like crap. You know, he was unlucky with the chance at the post as well, you know, and stuff like that and all. But yeah, he hasn't been good. But look, you know, it's 6 of one and a half dozen of another, really. You know what I mean? We've been so poor. Like no one gets off yesterday, do they? So poor. The boy Rio coming on, making this Premier League debut and stuff like that and all. That was good to see and stuff like that. And he was okay. He was okay, you know. He wasn't bad. I mean, at times he was running with the ball and he should be feeding it to a player and he just head down, you know, and just running and coughing up possession and stuff. But that's the youth in him and stuff like that, you know what I mean? So not a bad thing. Acers, AEW Revolution was pay-per-view of the year so far. That Texas Death match was unbelievable. That injection spot was cringe to watch. You won't hear me saying that tomorrow night, Acers, on the Pro Wrestling Weekly podcast. That's for sure. I have a much different view on that pay-per-view, to be honest. I am going to let fly in that pay-per-view, so it's worth tuning in. Had a chat with Dave today about it and stuff like that. I just can't fucking wrap my head around AEW. I just can't. Big up, Daz. Hope you're good, buddy. Hope you earned a few bob last week at Cheltenham if you were having a few bets and stuff like that. And hope you enjoyed the wrestling as well. Subbing off Rio was criminal in that Spurs game, by far our best player. Yeah, but he was tired, Keith. If you looked at him, he was fairly drained. Seeing him coming off, he was poleaxed. I don't think it was the wrong sub. I just think I don't know. I just think it was just look, we've been doing it all season. What have we now? Copped up 8 goals. 8 goals we have copped up in 90 plus minutes. You know, 90 minutes and after 8 goals. You know what I mean? So it's not a substitution thing. I don't even know if it's a slot thing. It's just a fucking mentality thing. Just there's no mentality there, you know. Just mental. Big up, Baz. Love you, brother. Love you, brother. And Ted is in. No, I love the injection spot. Only bit he liked. Ted, seriously, they fucking hell, man. I don't know. And I've seen Texas death matches in my day. Like, I've seen the Terry Funk ones, I've seen the Flair ones, I've seen the Dusty ones, I've seen the Texas Bull Rope matches, I've seen lots of claret and all that kind of stuff. But watching a guy in the middle of the ring put an injection through a guy's inner fucking cheek to the outside and squirting what was ever in it all around the place, I don't understand how that helps you win a Texas death match. I don't know. United looked decent yesterday. They did look decent yesterday, absolutely. And Villa looked, I don't know, Ollie Watkins, terrible. Morgan Rogers, terrible. And listen, are we saying that they are terrible, or are we saying that United was much better? I thought United have been very good. They've been excellent under Carrick, let's be honest there. There's no point in even trying to throw shade or get out and going. I thought they were very, very good. And I thought Villa, at times they were okay, but they just lack something, don't they? And it's always at this time of the year, isn't it, as well? Villa can be top 3 or top 2 for 6, 7, 8 months of the season and then just die. Absolutely die on their sword and fall away. And quite frankly, I don't see Villa making top 4 or top 5. I think Villa's only pathway into back into the Champions League will be through winning the Europa. And I think they have a real good chance of doing that. But I think that's where their opportunity will lie. We are certainly going to be talking AEW tomorrow. Don't worry about that, Keith. So what else will we be talking about? It's only Raw. You know what I mean? There's no point in talking about what else is there to talk about, Good to see Cope and Christian back last night. It is. But I have views on that as well, Daz, for tomorrow night. So tune in and we'll have a bit of crack talking about it. And everyone else, you can let us know all your thoughts on that pay-per-view and stuff like that and all, how you felt about it. Absolute fucking marathon session again. The usual, but no point giving out about that. It was good to see the boy back. I just hope, Acers, it's not too early. Didn't he have fusion neck surgery and stuff like that? And he's been traveling around. He was over in New Japan for the retirements and all that kind of stuff and all. Obviously, great links with New Japan, Will Ospreay and stuff like that. Felt he had to be there, absolutely, and stuff like that. But I don't know. I'd be concerned about getting rushed back from something as serious as that. I know they definitely want him back for Wembley and stuff like that as well, because I don't know. I haven't seen how ticket sales have gone yet. I know they went on sale, the pre-sale and stuff like that, but it'll be interesting to see how the ticket sales for AEW go this year in Wembley. Are they capable of doing those numbers again with the talent that they've lost? We shall see. Can't wait. Dave is the new Dave Meltzer. He's going to go on a mad one. People bashing AEW. He actually isn't, Keith, because I sent him my bullet points today from the show and how I felt about it. Very top level stuff and things like that. I didn't get into the nitty gritty of matches and stuff like that, no. But just kind of what I expect at a certain level, and they just don't deliver that kind of thing. And it wasn't necessarily about the individual matches. It was about just the structure of things and how things are done. And maybe it's because I'm used to the Fed doing things a certain way and stuff like that. But at the core value of this, I want AEW to succeed. I want them to be an actual genuine alternative. I want us to feel that Monday Night Wars, WCW, WWE rivalry and stuff like that. Will it ever get there? I don't know, because I don't think the people that are there are knowledgeable enough to deliver it. But let's see what happens, But we will. We'll talk about it. We'll tear it up. We'll rip it up. People can tell me what they liked, what they didn't like, all that kind of stuff and all. So I just have views on it, but it's more structural kind of stuff, more so than actual the bones of wrestling. I mean, obviously no one likes the fucking injection spot and all that kind of fucking bullshit. But there you go. That's what they do, isn't it? They try and do shock and all kind of therapy, Right, let's get into this. Premier League, Burnley 0, Bournemouth 0. Nothing really to talk about in it. Sunderland dropping a game at home, 1-0 to Brighton. Not a good result for them. Their results over the last 7-8 games, to say, have been indifferent. They were fabulous for a long time up there. At one stage, they were pushing in the league to, maybe cement potentially a European spot and stuff like that, but have fallen away down to I think the dizzy heights of 13th now, or 12th or something like that, absolutely, Keith. Of course I will. It's in my interest at every level that we have an alternative and that they succeed, with between the shop and also my fandom and stuff like that and all, so just makes sense, Acers, looking forward to seeing Roman Reigns beat down on Punk tonight. Let's see what happens there. We shall see. And Be interesting to see the AJ Lee Bailey match as well. That's going to be very interesting to see what comes out of that. But we'll see. We'll see if anything else gets released. Do you know what I read? You know, it's really weird. Like 4 or 5 weeks out from Mania, I'm looking forward to seeing if they announce another Hall of Famer or something like that. You know what I mean? It's just, it is what it is. But let's not talk too much wrestling tonight, folks. You know, save that for tomorrow night. We'll have the crack talking about it as we always do. Chelsea 0, Newcastle 1. Chelsea with their struggles at the moment. And we're hearing that Reece James has gone out injured as gay and he's going to miss a bit of time, which is really unfortunate for the boy as well, because he was having quite a run in the team and stuff like that. But I'm not too sure the mixing up of his positions. I know Darren had an alternative view on it today. He felt that, you know, they were putting him into midfield maybe to protect him a little more. I don't know. And the battle in those midfields in the Premier League, I don't know if it protects you more. Maybe if you're playing as a, you know, as a wing back, a right wing back and stuff, as he does and stuff like that, like you're putting in more mileage and stuff like that. But there's a greater level of aggression, I think, in the middle of the park and stuff in the Premier League, which can be difficult on the boy, you know. Yeah, I seen that as well. I seen, yeah, and they were fined. They were fined as well. They fined like 10 million or something like that, and then a transfer ban. But like, man, what does a transfer ban mean to them? They've about 100 million players on their books and stuff like that and all. And I'm sure if they dig deep into what's on their books and stuff like that, they can unearth a couple of little gems, maybe. Probably not ideal for them and stuff like that. The bigger problem, I think, for them is with Reece James going out injured now, probably really endangers their chances of getting a top 4, top 5. And it depends on what happens as well with this position for this 5th spot in the Champions League, this coefficient as well, because we could see over the next 2 days, of course, loads of teams in the Premier League crashing out of the Champions League. And there's a pretty good chance that 3 of the Spanish teams will go through: Real, Atleti and Barcelona. So that could impact on that 5th spot as well. So hopefully, fingers crossed, over the next 2 nights that a couple of the teams get through and stuff like that, and we box off that coefficient position. But let's see what happens, you know. Should be interesting. I don't see Chelsea getting Champions League. They have a hard run in. They have Everton, Man U, Man City, etc. Tough ones. Yeah, absolutely. Look, we know at this stage in the season as well, with players trying to, teams trying to survive, I should say, in the league and stuff like that. You know what I mean? There's no easy games now. We know more than anything this year as Liverpool fans and stuff. But yeah, it is a really, really tough run in for them at a time where, you know, they're probably, you know, they've done okay under Liam Rosenior and stuff like that, but at times they've just kind of struggled and come unstuck. And I think losing Reece James is huge. I think he's a guy for them and stuff like that, you know. He is the guy. That chap is so unlucky with injuries. Honestly, he's a very good player when he's fit. You know, he's one of the best right backs in the world, to be honest, when he's fit on his day and stuff like that, you know. And let's be honest, we sat here for years as Liverpool fans protecting Trent and all, and you know, we were going, he doesn't want him to defend, this is his job and all, and you know, all this kind of, he was our guy, and we always protect our own players and stuff like that. But the reality is Reece James is a phenomenal player. You know what I mean? It's just a shame, and we see it so often as well, don't we? So many world-class players just don't get to spend enough time on the pitch. That's the reality of it. Galway have taken the lead there, folks, as well, on 61. Now 3-2 to Galway at home. We did say Galway will be the upstarts in this division, but Waterford always seem to bring 9 times out of 10 a belter of games out of people as well. Still struggling for our goals. No goals at all in the other 4 games. All 0-0s at the moment. 0-0 as well, Shells and Bohemians at the moment. And again, I can tell you, it's still 1-0 to Derby against Portsmouth in the Championship, and Brentford still 2-1 up. So that is your latest up to date. What are we looking at here? Arsenal 2, Everton 0. Yeah, absolutely phenomenal. A tap in. I thought Jordan Pickford could have done much better for that one to get a hand to it and stuff like that. Ball comes back across, zips in. Victor Yerkes won't have an easier goal to score. And then, of course, the breakaway one from Max Dooman. And people played it down a little bit as well. But when he picked up the ball and he moved, he still had plenty to do. You had to sit that player down and all and stuff like that. And it was phenomenal to see it and stuff like that. And when I was looking at it on the screen as well, I was thinking the other player running in towards him, and I said, "Don't you fucking dare go near that ball." But it was great to see. It was great to see Dowman there. It was great to see Dowman score. Fair play to him. 16 years and becomes the youngest. I think we have a profile in there. We have a slide later. We're going to be talking about Bruno, Richarlison, and Max Dowman on the slide in a little bit as well. So all for on that little rate and stuff like that. We're going to give Bruno his flowers tonight, folks. Going to give Bruno Fernandes his flowers tonight. I was hoping Marky be on, but because I'm flying solo now, I have to do it. This is tough as a Liverpool fan. As a Liverpool fan, and I know it's the Monday mashup, it's not a Shankly session or anything like that, but I'm gonna have to give Bruno fucking Fernandes his flowers tonight. And that's tough. So Ted, if you're in the comments there, give me a dig out tonight on these comments, will you, with Bruno Fernandes and all. It's tough for me to do it. You know what I mean? Yeah, what have you thought about the discussions about Bruno being in with a shout for PFA Player of the Year? Listen, it's not a stretch. It wasn't a shock. I heard about it on the way home. I'm not shocked by it. The numbers don't lie. And think about it. Think about the season he's had, where Amarin at one stage had him hostage for how many months in the middle of the park and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So like, imagine if he had a full season in the 10. I don't think it would be a debate. I think the only problem is if Arsenal go on and they win the league and maybe one or two other trophies and stuff like that. I think you're looking at Declan Rice, eh? I think you're looking at Declan Rice. That's what he will be up against and stuff like that. And I think that you have to take into account a number of things. One, you have to take into account the pressure of Declan Rice and where he's at and trying to do what he's trying to do with Arsenal versus the pressure of Bruno just trying to cement maybe a top 4 position. And I mean, be honest, United fans looking at last season probably would have been delighted with top 6, top 7, maybe, you know what I mean? But the fact that they're up there now in 3rd place, Champions League spot and all, they've defied all expectations. And especially with Carrick coming back in and doing so well as he did and stuff like that. So, yeah, I wasn't shocked at all. I wasn't shocked at all. Craig from Anfield Agenda wants Hughes and Edwards and Slot all sacked immediately. Well, that's easier said than done. And listen, I don't disagree. I don't disagree at all. But the problem that I have at the moment with this is, where's the energy for the players as well? I mean, do we truly believe as Liverpool fans? I mean, let's have it out here now. How do we feel about this? Okay, most of us want Slot gone, and for good reason. The results haven't been good enough. Bit of respect. He won the league last year. Thanks. Thank you very much. Move on, whatever you want to talk about that. But these players are woeful. Absolutely shambolic. And do we truly believe if Alonso comes in or Gerrard comes in, you get that manager bounce and these guys start humming again? Or what do we believe? Do we believe that the problems are the manager? Get rid of the manager and Van Dijk becomes world-class again. Alisson becomes world-class again. Konate becomes world-class again. McAllister looks like the guy who won the World Cup. Gravenberch looks like the 6 that he was last year. Dom goes back into midfield, brings the energy. Wirtz settles in and becomes that star of the Bundesliga for 2 years in the trot. Ekitike looks like that star that we've seen. Mo Salah becomes the Mo Salah of last season. Do we truly believe this is what's going to happen? Do we truly believe that, 12 players have died this season on their sword, basically? Commitment-wise, form, everything. And that this is all on Slot. This is a Slot issue. And this comes from a guy, look, you're saying my reaction. I think he has to go now. I don't think there's any way back for this. But do we truly believe that we're going to get, this is just all going to, Alonso come in or Gerrard come in or whoever the fuck they want comes in, and then Liverpool just goes from this to this, all of a sudden away we go again. I don't know where that's the case or not. I'm extremely worried about the players. And I would just like to see people bring the same energy to the players and all that kind of stuff as well. And I know we can't just go in and sack a load of players. Doesn't work that way and stuff like that. So ultimately the fall guy lands with these guys and stuff like that. So I don't know. Not much talk from Hughes, not much talk from Edwards, and you've seen it on my reactions on the shows as well. I turn around and go, where's all the senior players in the squad who need to come out and start talking? Curtis Jones came out and made a statement a number of months ago, and since then he's been warming the bench. He's probably one of our best midfielders this season, apart from Dom. He's been warming the bench. So I don't know. Where are we? Rafa's can't chew flowers. Man. See, the problem is, Acers, it's undeniable. Liverpool turning into United under Ten Hag. It's rough, isn't it? It is rough at the moment. I can't even lean on the wrestling. I can't even lean on the wrestling because the wrestling is fucking pony as well. So where do I go, you know? Don't say that, Niall. It's so hard to give Rap Boy his flowers. Can't stand it. Man, but it's undeniable. I can't sit here. I sat here having rows with these guys all the time about him as a captain and his petulance and his carry on and all that kind of stuff. But how can you deny his numbers? You can't deny his numbers. I truly believe they have stopped playing for Slot. I think they don't believe in his system. That slow Dutch football doesn't work in the Premier League. Like, that slow Dutch football worked last year and won the Premier League. Because that's what we were playing. Slow, patient football. Slow, patient football brought the league last year. Maybe these guys don't fancy it, but like I can't go into work in the shop tomorrow and turn around because wrestling's a little bit fucking ropey at the moment and crapping on and go, fuck it, I don't fancy it. I'm out of here. You know what I mean? I have to show up and I have to work. You know, I don't know. Big up Ted. Honestly, not a dig at Pool here, but Salah and Virgil van Dijk have been terrible this season. That's it. Ted, just watch my videos. They were your biggest of the big, and they look like they've been playing with 2 left boots each all season. It's trampoline football. It's trampoline football. Every ball that goes into them just bounces off them. And it's not even just them. Like McAllister has died. Gravenberch has become the Gravenberch prior to Slot arriving. You know what I mean? Frimpong came in, looked really well, got injured. Bradley got injured. Mo has just had a sensational drop off. You know what I mean? I don't want to labour too much on Liverpool here. You see the videos that I do and stuff like that and all. Like, these guys, it's nowhere near good enough. Nowhere near good enough. And then I see players getting subbed off and they're fucking smiling. Salah coming off the pitch fucking smiling, getting subbed off. And that fucking grinds my gears. 450 grand a week. Grinds my fucking gears. Salah's best days are behind him and Virgil van Dijk is not far behind him. Could be true. But this is my issue here, Keith. If we believe that is the truth, the manager, doesn't matter then who comes in. If Salah's best days are behind him and Virgil's not too far behind him, if that is the case and we truly believe that's the case, then it doesn't matter who comes in. It doesn't matter if fucking Ancelotti comes in, if that's the case, because that will have to be addressed. That's my argument. Keep the same energy. The players aren't performing on the pitch. I don't see anyone coming on to my matches and my match reactions and my match previews telling me that the starting 11, I'm not happy with it. Now, yesterday's felt a little bit strange. You know, it just felt a little bit weird, a little bit of a mixed bag and stuff like that. So I'm not too sure. But most of the starting 11s, I don't see people arguing. I think people are arguing with the fact that Dom is in right back, and that just shouldn't be the case. I think his position in right back has cost us 2 games this season. You know, and it's not his fault. He's an attacking midfielder being asked to play a fucking right back role. You know what I mean? What would your 11 be for Wednesday, Niall? You were Slot. So who do we pick from, Daz? You're gonna go with Alisson and Net. You're gonna go hopefully with you're gonna revert back with what he should have done yesterday with Frimpong, Konate, Van Dijk, Kerkez probably. Then your midfield is going to be Gravenberch, Dom, and McAllister. And then up front, then he's going to pick the love child on the left, Gakpo. You're going to have Ekitike through the middle, and you're going to have Salah. And then I don't know what happens with Wirtz. Does Wirtz come in there, or what does he do? And, you know, he's just all over the camp at the moment. You know what I mean? I don't think he's too sure. He's second guessing himself a lot now at this stage, and that's understandable as well because he has literally tried everything. I hate this becoming a Shankly session now, you know, but ask the questions, it's all good. But the difficulty is now he has tried everything. He's tried every combination, he's tried every change. You know, tactically he's been pretty poor in game, where last year he was pretty good in game tactically. This year he's really, really poor. Like, for 20 minutes out, at 70 minutes on the clock yesterday, I called it was going to be a goal for Spurs. I'm saying it to Ben here watching the game. So Spurs are going to get a goal here. There's no doubt about it. We were horrific. We were getting ran through like we didn't even exist. And the problem for that is, at times a manager can affect that by making substitutions, stuff like that. But your main players as well on the pitch, Van Dijk, Salah, senior players, McAllister, guys like that spine of the team, Dom even, Joe Gomez, they have to take players by the throat and wake them up. We had no shape, we had no formation. Like, we let such a poor, like, it's just, You know what I mean? The fact that Richarlison got the goal, that's bad enough. But the fact that that Spurs team missing 13 first-team players, you know what I mean? Look at the state of that back three that was there. And Vicario and nets, butterfingers. And the only thing we did was the free kick. And any keeper with their salt yesterday would have saved that free kick. He just had soft hands. He didn't save it. And like, we never laid a glove on him. We never put anything in there after that free kick. We knew that he's soft and stuff like that. No, we never really tested him. Never really tested him. Okay, there was the one chance that he nudged onto the post, I think, from Cody Gakpo, but that's about it. Nothing else. We did nothing. Dundalk have just taken the lead, folks, as well against Sligo here in the 82nd minute here. So big goal for Dundalk up there in Oriel against Sligo. That's everything to report. Galway still 3-2 up, 1-0 to Derby against Portsmouth. Brentford still 2-1, 72 minutes gone on that one. St. Pat's at Richmond versus Derry 0-0. Shells Bows 0-0 at Talca, and draw the Shamrock Rovers 0-0 as well. So that brings you bang up to date on that. Yeah, where am I? Where are we? If United finish second, Pep should just resign immediately. Well, the talk is that Pep's probably going anyway. I know there's talk he might be staying and stuff like that, but ultimately I think Pep will go. Daz, yeah, Allison, Friend, Poncanati, Kerkez, Maka, Sabo, Rio. It's definitely not going to be Rio, Keith. There's no way he's going to put Rio in there. There's not. Like, Gakpo is nailed on. Gakpo is, like, whether you like it or not, Gakpo is the first name on the fucking team sheet. Dundalk have just had a red card as well, folks. Let me just bang in here and see what's going on here. I didn't see it. Let me see. Can I get some? Is there any commentary here? It's a red card for... Not telling me here. But someone's picked up a red card there. Horgan just scored a penalty in the 82nd minute, and now there's a red card. Dundalk just have a red card, giving Sligo a chance probably to get back into that game with probably about 10 minutes to go. It's on the 85th minute. But there'll probably be more time and stuff like that. So let's see what happens there. Where we see Acers. Atletico Madrid will destroy them comfortably tomorrow night. They will, and isn't that the sickener? Isn't that the sickener? He won't play 100%. I'd rather, if he played Rio, he will play Gakpo or Verts. I don't want to see Verts out on the left again. The problem with Verts out on the left is there's just too much to do. There's too much to do, and, as skillful and as technical as he is, he's lightweight and he easily gets pushed off the ball at times. So if you put him out on the left there, I mean, you have similar problems with Gakpo as well, except he's much more physical. But the problem with Gakpo is he's just so predictable, because he's going to pick up the ball, he's going to cut to the right and cut in, and this is what he's going to do and try and let fly. So, like, it's carbon copy all the time and predictable and stuff like that. We're into the latter stages of the early kickoffs and the electricity as well here, folks. So we'll keep you glued if there's any late goals going in. We're 90+1 here at Richmond with St. Pat's and Derry. 89 at Talca, nothing really going on, 0-0. And draw the Shamrock Rovers 0-0, 90+1 as well. Yeah, look, we'd love Real to get a run in the game and in the team and stuff like that, but we know that's not going to be the case. Let's West Ham Man City, which was the big one, obviously. Arsenal winning 2-0, moving the gap to 10 points. And then, of course, West Ham and Man City again. Haaland just... When Haaland doesn't perform, there's a major problem there, isn't there? There's just a major, that one that they played into the middle of the box, and he went to hit it, and he just scuffed it away. I'd imagine there's pressers tomorrow, Daz, because the game is on Wednesday, so they normally do it the day before, don't they? It'll probably be tomorrow at 6, because at that stage they'll probably be over in Turkey, I would imagine. Or sorry, it's at home, isn't it? So yeah, so it might be tomorrow morning actually. Might be tomorrow morning prior to training, I'd say, then, because, we're at home. He's more effective as a number 10. He is. But the problem is, then, if you start moving them around that way, Keaton, you start trying to accommodate both of them and all, then who drops out? This is the problem at the moment. The dilemma at the moment is there's an issue there with potentially having to pay players, and an issue with potentially having to drop players and how they react to it and stuff like that and all. And I mean, if you look at the last few weeks, there's an argument you could fucking make to drop every player if you had a squad. But yeah, that Verts lad, he's been poor. He looks like Werner 2.0. Don't say that, Ted. Don't go that far. But I know where you're coming from. I know doubt. Let's move into Sunday. Palace nil, Leeds nil. Leeds Calvert-Lewin with a penalty that he missed, and then they pick up a red card. Yeah, crazy stuff. But saying it out to get a point, and it could be a big point when they look back at it after being down to 10 men. Man United 3-1 against Aston Villa. Really good game. And then Man United came out up the gears, stuff like that, and just Village just died. They just made Watkins and Morgan Rogers and Buendia and guys like that just look so ordinary. And then the likes of Bailey and all came on and just real ordinary, So United absolutely flying at the moment. And you're not often going to get much off United at Old Trafford anyway. They have a fabulous record there. Even through the dark times, they have real good records there. Forest nil, Fulham nil. Big point for Forest as well. Kind of all happened down there, didn't it? It was kind of cemented and stuff like that. And of course, Liverpool 1, Tottenham 1. And of course, tonight, Brentford 2, Wolves 1 at the moment, 76 minutes gone. Coming right up the full times here now, folks, and those early kickoffs in the electricity. So we'll bring you full-time results just as soon as they click in. Give it a little refresh and see. Wolves have just equalised against Brentford, now 2-2. Literally just equalised now in the 77th minute. Let's see who got the goal. Drogheda looks like it's full-time, 0-0. Yeah, full-time for Drogheda, 0-0 up there. Shamrock Rovers will be disappointed in that as well. Rodgers has looked ordinary all season, not the player of last season at all. Do you reckon Teddy's a confidence player? Do you reckon he's a confidence player and stuff like that? Because he's obviously been getting rave reviews and all, and the England call up and all that kind of stuff. And then you're obviously listening to the press that big teams might come in for you and there might be a big offer and all this kind of thing. Teams interested in you, and do you lose your mind? Do you lose your mind? I don't know. Look, on his day, he's a very good player. But I was watching him there yesterday for you guys, and God, he looked god awful. He looked ordinary, didn't he? He looked real ordinary. Yeah. So that's your Premier League roundup. Let's have a quick chat about the title race, if that's what you want to call it. This is the situation at the moment. This is the run-in of kind of what's left. I think City have quite a tough run-in. I think Shelbourne has just finished 0-0 as well, folks, with Bows. Disappointing result there. What do we think? I think it's just too much minutes on him. They don't have the depth. Yeah, that could be a point as well. And there's obviously a reliance on him as well and stuff like that, But yeah, let's see what happens there. And St. Pat's has ended 0-0 as well, from what I can see. Just came through there as well. Yeah, all 0-0 tonight, folks. If you're on the draws tonight, you're in the money. But what do we make of the run-in? Do we see any way at all here? We know City have a game in hand, and then we know that Arsenal have to go to the Etihad. But obviously this week, and don't forget, we'll do a watch-along probably on Sunday for the Carabao Cup final as well. But do we feel like that Carabao Cup final is probably pivotal as well in terms of, if Arsenal win that, they could go on potentially to have a historic season. It could absolutely, get that first piece of silverware in the cabinet. The pressure will be off them for the league. They can focus on the Champions League, where they've been really good. Didn't have a great game last week against Leverkusen, but they'll make up for that, no doubt, at the Emirates this week. And then it's really only the FA Cup is what's dangling in the wind. Now, obviously, they have a pretty good draw. Looks like they'd probably face either Atleti or Barca maybe in the semi-final. So that would be the key potential stumbling block in the Champions League. As much as we love the romance of Bodo Glimt and stuff like that and all, I don't think they'll present the problem for Arsenal. And I think Sporting I think they'll find it very difficult to get back into a Sporting. So, but we will look at it in a few minutes. But that's the thing. But are we on the precipice of Arsenal having a historic season? Do we get to a point in the next few weeks where we're talking quad? How do you feel about this? How do you see it playing out? What do you think Arsenal are going to win? they're probably nailed on. The Premier League at this stage, I think, is nailed on. I think it's going to be very difficult for City. City would literally have to go invincible from this stage, wouldn't they? And they'd probably have to beat them in the Carabao Cup, um, in order to bring the confidence down a bit. There's just, as much as Arsenal at times struggle through games, and we've seen it with Everton at the moment, that telltale signs of champions is when you get the job done. You know what I mean? I said it yesterday about our game. That breakaway right at the death. If that's the Liverpool of old, we're absolutely breaking away and we're scoring the winner there, getting the 3 points on the board with the intent and stuff like that. But I think with this title race at the moment, I think it's Arsenal to celebrate at this stage. I think you're getting pretty close at this stage to book the parade. And we did say that City's inconsistency could come and bite them in the ass. And by the time that we get to the game in the Etihad, it mightn't even matter. Mightn't even matter at that stage. Arsenal could probably even afford to maybe lose it. So let's see what our thinking is on that. I just think it's too much, and I think significant as well. They have a +7 on the goal difference as well, which is telling as well for Man City, isn't it? As well, that's the difference in the goal difference between them. But yeah, real tough one at the moment. Tough one to take as well, as I said all season. You know, I mean, it's not an Arsenal thing around like that, but it just, thoughts of having to watch Arteta lift the Premier League is just tough. Yeah, 3 full times in so far, folks. 82 minutes gone in the Brentford game. 2-2 themselves on Wolves. What a turnaround. Can't just glaze over this, but what a turnaround from Rob Edwards at Wolves. Isn't it just a shame they didn't make the decision earlier and bring him in earlier? I said it last week and the week before, and give him a great chance, phenomenal chance of potentially keeping Wolves up. I think if we were like 15 games in and Rob Edwards came in, I think they might have stayed up. I think he's done a phenomenal job. I didn't expect it at all. I thought they brought him in, they had planned for the championship and it was done and stuff like that. But I think he's done a phenomenal job. I don't think Wolves could have asked for any more. I know they're going down, but I don't think they could have asked for any more from the team at this stage and Rob Edwards. Since he's come in and stuff like that, I think they've done really, really well. And even a couple of times where they've dropped results, they've been very unlucky. Very unlucky. Right. Speaking of which, we got to talk relegation, don't we? I think 2 cogs of this 3-cog wheel have been done already. I think Burnley are done. I think Wolves are done. The question is, who's going to come from the other 4? Will it be West Ham, Forest, Spurs, or Leeds? What are we thinking, chat? Who's going to fill that third berth? Who's going to fill that third berth at the moment in the relegation battle? Yeah, it's true, Ted, isn't it? No, that's probably true as well, but it's just really difficult. Dundalk have beaten Sligo Rovers 1-0. They were down to 10 men, scoring late on a penalty by, I think it was Horgan, was it? Yes, Horgan with a penalty in 82 minutes. And where are we? Let's see, the sending off. Aidan Dervin got sent off in the 84th minute. A straight red. So, I don't know. We'll have to take a look at that and see what that and discuss it at a later date, as they say. So, we're down to now Galway 3-2 up, 87 minute. Portsmouth 1-0 down to Derby in the Championship, 86 minute. And 85 minutes gone at Brentford, 2-2 at the moment. Surely, Keith Andrews will be searching for a winner there. Could Igor Thiago, the guy who's just been called up for the first time to the Brazil side, could he get the winner? Better check that he wasn't subbed off. Better check and make sure he wasn't subbed off. Now he's still on there. He's still on there, so that's all good. Didn't even check that, so there you go. So could Igor Thiago come up with a late one for Brentford, getting them 3 points, which would be huge as well. We spoke about Keith Andrews. How fabulous would it be for Keith Andrews and Brentford to have a European spot or something next season as well? That'd be pretty cool as well. But yeah, for me, who do you think is going down? I still think Spurs have a lot of problems at the moment. And I think the other 2 teams, I think Leeds will probably be okay, but they need to fix up a little bit quickly, don't they? They've kind of dragged themselves back into it and stuff like that. They probably should have beaten Palace the other day, but then Palace had some good chances as well. But with Leeds with the penalty and then the sending off and just crazy stuff. Forest kind of teetering, but I think they'll have enough quality. The issue is Spurs. If Spurs get a beat down tomorrow night, I think it is, against Atleti, and then they go into that game, Forest at the weekend, which is absolutely massive. Might be a game that we'll cover, but that's gigantic, that game. I think that's gigantic. You don't think, Ted? You don't think Forest? Do you think Forest are capable of beating Spurs? The Forest beat Spurs and West Ham win. See, I think if Spurs at any stage fall into the bottom three, I think that's it. I don't think they have the stomach to get out of it. I don't think Spurs are the kind of team at the moment that can even take from yesterday's draw. Another goal at Galway, folks. Who's it gone to? Galway now 4-2 up against Waterford in the 90th minute. Big win for Galway tonight down there. Yeah, I don't know. I think I could see Forest beating Spurs. I think Forest might beat Spurs, and then I think Spurs will be banging trouble. So let's see, but certainly going to be interesting, that's for sure. This is the slide I was talking about earlier. Wanted to bring it up. Very, very interesting slide, of course. We give our props obviously to Max Dillman. Absolutely unbelievable. Spurs are never going down. You don't think, Ribshaw? You don't think so? Spurs are never going down. Interesting. Would you be sure? I think Spurs. I think the Forest game is massive, because I think if they lose that Forest game, I think confidence will be so low and in the gutter. You know what I mean? And West Ham have improved. I think Spurs will just manage to hang around, and West Ham have improved. Yeah, I think so. It's a shout, but it's like, I wouldn't be comfortable putting money on any of them, would you, at the moment? Like, it's all over the camp at the moment. But yeah, Max Dillman, 16 years and 73 days. Youngest Premier League goal scorer. And you look, James Milner, Wayne Rooney, Rio, Cesc, Michael Owen. He's in good company, isn't he? He's in good company, but he's an absolute star, this Max Dillman lad. The problem for Arsenal will be now protecting him and stuff like that, and being careful with him. And then obviously being that young as well. I mean, what is he? He's nearly 2 years off getting a professional contract. You know what I mean? So he needs the right family, the right people in his ears and all that kind of stuff, and not lose the mind, Ted, come on, save me here, will you? For fuck's sake, save me, you know what I mean? But again, Bruno Fernandes, 100 plus goals and 100 plus assists, joining the company of Ryan Giggs and Wayne Rooney, the third player for Man United to do it. Can't argue, can you? Can't argue. Fucking kills me. Coming on here. Where's Mark? Mark, where are you when I need you, man? Bombing off when I need you. I did this slide for you so you could wax lyrical and glaze this guy. I didn't think I'd have to be the guy in the hot seat, fucking glazing Bruno Fernandes after the shit I had to put up with yesterday. But there you go. It's a phenomenal record and stuff like that. And you got to remember, when you look at the two boys he's sharing company with there, those two boys played in phenomenal teams. They generally played in United at its absolute peak. Especially, look at Giggs, how long he was there. We've had another goal, have we, at Galway? Or they just now, it's just confirming the 4-2. But yeah, like, just when you think about the teams that Bruno Fernandes has played in, and it just makes his numbers even more amazing and stuff like that and all, Just clip this now, folks, because everyone knows how I felt about this guy, you know what I mean? But you can't deny the undeniable, you know what I mean? It's been absolutely phenomenal. Joins Wayne Rooney and Ryan Giggs as the third player at Man United. 100 plus goals, 100 plus assists. Absolutely phenomenal. And as Ted said earlier, up for one of in the team of the year and stuff like that and all. And I mean, would you argue against it? Let's see. The only thing I hate about that team of the year stuff and all, Ted, is they fucking do it 3 months before the season ends. And the season could go like if you look at Arsenal, okay, probably ain't going to happen. Devil's advocate here, you know what I mean? But like, their season could go to shit. They could lose on Sunday. They could get knocked out of the Champions League tomorrow. You know what I mean? They could lose their confidence and City could rein them in. They could end up winning nothing. They could end up with just a domestic cup. Who knows? So it's so early. And if that's the case, then Bruno probably has to be the guy that goes in there over Declan Rice, because Obviously, I rate much higher if you're fighting for titles and fighting for trophies and you're in that moment and you're playing 2 games a week and stuff like that, as opposed to 1 game a week generally and stuff like that. And also, I rate that much higher. But you have to deliver the trophies as well, don't you? You have to be intricate in doing that and stuff like that. We're in 90 plus minutes here, folks, at the moment. Galway 4-3. Waterford pulled the goal back 4-3. Must have been a stellar game down there. Galway, I want to see this out now. I've heard for years from non-United fans how Bruno wouldn't make it in a top team, and I've always thought they were insane. Don't got to like the guy, but he's undeniable. Listen, Ted, I was, I bet that drum for a long time in terms of in terms of being a captain of Man United and what that represents and stuff like that. And, it's difficult when you were dealing with his petulance and, the sending offs and stupid stuff and all that. But there's no denying when he's on that pitch, and especially in that 10 role, his impact on the game is sensational. And we can't deny that. I'm a Liverpool fan sitting here glazing this guy up, you know what I mean? Because Marky didn't fucking show up, you bollocks, Mark. But there you go. But yeah, look, I think he walks into most teams. I don't think there's too many teams out there that wouldn't have Bruno Fernandes in their 10 over that time. Galway have seen it out, folks. They've won 4-3 full time. Big win for Galway there tonight. There we go. Yeah, so there's not much more I can say. Then the bottom one, of course, Richarlison is the third Brazilian to reach 100 goal involvements in the Premier League, which that's unbelievable, isn't it? Isn't that unbelievable when you think about that in terms of Brazilian players in the Premier League and stuff like that and all that? He's only the third one to reach 100 goal involvements. Obviously, Bobby Firmino out there as well, no surprise. Jesus, no surprise. Richarlison there, he's probably done it the hard way as well because he's been in some tough teams. Look at his pathway with, Waterford, Everton and Spurs, it's not exactly Bobby, obviously, all the time with Liverpool, and obviously Jesus with Man City and Arsenal. You would expect it to be an easier pathway and stuff like that, but getting 100, and of course, we cough up the 100 one as well, which is fucking heartbreaking. But there you go. Another one that's inevitable, isn't it, when he's playing against us and stuff like that. And also, but yeah, hats off to him joining only the third Brazilian, which is mad when you think about it. I think absolutely crazy. Right, let's talk Champions League. Want to get your picks? Come on, want to get your picks on the Champions League? Who's going through over the next 2 nights? Who are you backing, Ted? If you're having a bet, who are you betting on? 90 plus 3 here for Brentford, 2-2 at the moment. And Portsmouth 0, Derby 1, 90 plus 5. Probably coming up to full time, 90 plus 6 now. Coming up pretty close to them now. What are we thinking in the Champions League, folks? Who's going through? Start top to bottom. Bodo, I think, knocks Sporting out. Chelsea, I think, are going to have a very tough day at the office. If they can get an early goal, they might be able to do something at the bridge. But ultimately, I think Paris will score, which means Chelsea would need 4. And remember, there's only one team that's overturned a 3-goal deficit. We remember that corner taken quickly, don't we? With such fond memories. Better times. Real and Man City, similar to Chelsea. I think Real will probably score. I think they're a little bit suspect at the back. Man City have been better when Gahey's gone in there, but a little bit suspect. But if you're saying that goal against them the other day, where he just gets the Valverde goal, where he just puts the ball over Gahey, leaves him there and just strokes it home, just phenomenal. So I think, again, this is another one where I think Real will probably score and they need 4. So I don't know, but if City got an early goal, could they just ask some questions of Real Madrid? Maybe. Let's see how that goes as well. But it's going to be a phenomenal night tomorrow night for football as well, folks. Arsenal 1, Leverkusen 1. I think Arsenal will probably have too much for Leverkusen at the Emirates, but let's see what happens. Stranger things have happened, I thought the young lad up front, the 19-year-old for Leverkusen last week, I thought he was sensational, the big boy. Darren dropped his name on the Thursday show. I can't remember his name, but I watched him play. He looked really, really good the way he slipped around defenders and ran onto balls and balls over the top and all. He looked very accomplished for a 19-year-old. I think Darren was saying he's French. And then we get into Wednesday, some huge games on Wednesday. Obviously, Barcelona, Newcastle 1-1. Can the Geordies go to the new camp and do what's perceived as the impossible? I don't know. And we've got to overturn a 1-goal deficit against Galatasaray at Anfield. It's going to be really, really difficult. Will Galatasaray open up and will we get that space and opportunities that we need? But we need to score at least 2. And I would say in this game, we probably need to score 3 because I think we'll cough up a goal as well in Anfield. So in theory, we probably need 3 goals. Bayern 6-1 up against Atalanta. Atalanta, no chance. Just show up and get the German beer. Enjoy yourselves, lads, for a day or two in Germany and Munich. And Tottenham 5-2 down. Don't see them doing anything. Can only see Atleti pouring more coals on that fire, to be honest. Portsmouth has finished Portsmouth 0, Derby 1 in the Championship, and Brentford has finished 2-2 with Wolves. What a job Rob Edwards has done. What a job. Ted, no bets in the Champions League myself. Just think anything could happen in a lot of these games. Yeah, it's all teetering a little bit, isn't it? Just a little bit. I mean, it's probably not going to go with the obvious. Something's going to happen, isn't it? Like either City are going to find a way to turn this around, or Chelsea are going to find a way to do something, or Leverkusen may cause an upset, but I don't see it. But we would see. We will see. Bayern could be in trouble with their keeper situation. Yeah, I think there's 4 keepers out injured, isn't there? 4 keepers out injured. Having said that, if you're 6-1 up against Atalanta, you could just play 11 outfield players. You don't even need a keeper, do you? Last man back. Last man back. Not for this game, but in general. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. But I think it's, if I'm picking at the moment, I'm going Bodo, I'm going Paris, I'm going Real, I'm going Arsenal, Barca. Hopefully Liverpool turn it around, Bayern Munich and Atleti. You'd go with the obvious, but you know there's always going to be, you know, if it was that obvious, we'd all just be putting the mortgage on it, wouldn't we? But it never works out that way. Never works out that way at all. Right, League of Ireland roundup. Start with the first division. Yeah, down to their under 19s. Yeah. And while you see that, the under 19 reserve keeper is probably going to be fucking world class. People will be looking to buy him now in the summer watch. Probably have a belter of a game. But yeah, it was big games coming up. Obviously, this Friday, Cove are playing Bray. I'm probably going to go with Bray on that one. Although Cove have been plucky enough this season. Got a good draw there a couple of weeks ago, didn't they, against Cork at Turner's Cross, I think it was. Kerry Finn Harps, I'd probably go with Finn Harps. Treaty versus Athlone, I'm going to go with Athlone. UCD versus Cork. I'm going to go UCD here to cause an upset. They're at home, so I'm going to go with the students with that one. And then I'm going to go Wexford versus Longford. I'm going to go with Wexford on that one. So that's my picks for Friday there. Let me see now. Let me bring up then the Premier League. Let's see what's going on there. Right, so coming up, obviously, you're saying tonight, all tonight's results are in there, so slight changes in the table and stuff like that. We get an update for Thursday with Darren, so we can have a look at the Friday games. But yeah, not a whole lot to dwell on there. I mean, we've seen the results from the weekend. Some interesting results. Some really interesting results. Really, really good ones as well. But yeah, where are we? Waterford getting beaten 4-3 tonight. Galway. That's a big 3 points for Galway now. Shoots them up into potentially around 5th or 6th, I think, depending on results and goal difference and stuff like that. Shells and Rovers. Shells, Rovers, Pats and Bows and Derry all drew. So Dundalk and Galway were the big winners tonight. Dundalk picked up 3 points. They'll go to 10. And they will go above Shells, I think, on goal difference, I think. And Galway will go to 8. So they will just sit behind. They'll go above. No, they won't. They'll stay where they are, actually, Galway. They'll stay in 8 with 8 points. But again, Sligo and Waterford at this early stage getting detached. But we will have a preview for the games coming up the weekend with Darren and stuff like that, so stay tuned for that. So like I said, folks, Coming up this week, tomorrow night, Pro Wrestling Weekly, AEW Revolution, Raw, the road to Las Vegas, and everything in between. We're going to be talking about it. Make sure you're strapped in for that. 8 o'clock, we're live with the panel, the usual. Wednesday, I got the Liverpool Galatasaray watch along for my penance. Let's see how that goes. Can the Reds stay in the Champions League? They'll need a big game on Wednesday night at Anfield. We need the crowd. As Dom said, we need that crowd in there with us in the trenches. I don't think they haven't been there. I think they've been let down by the team this season. Thursday will be Thursday Tier Talk, the usual with Darren, where we'll bring you through all the predictions and stuff like that. And we'll have a big build-up as well to the Carabao Cup final. And then Sunday, we will do probably a live watch-along for the Carabao Cup. Make sure you're liking, subscribing to the channel, and hit that bell notification button for all notification buttons. So when we put up the live shows and everything else, you get notified. You get notified on the shorts, on the videos, and everything that's going on at the moment. We are doing shorts every day at the moment. A WrestleMania each day, all the way up to 42. You can see the gang on the panel there are doing them each day and stuff like that. And also keep an eye out for those shorts and give them your full support as well, as always. And that's it. Another show in the bag. We'll talk to you again real soon. Enjoy the Champions League. Try and enjoy the wrestling. Let's see what comes out of Raw tonight. Bren obviously will be back on Saturday as well with the SmackDown show and all. And Sean and Emma will have the women's show on Thursday or Friday. And I don't know, Dave might be doing some shorts on the AEW Revolution, stuff like that. But if he doesn't, we'll be getting an update off and tomorrow and a breakdown from it and everything, giving our views on it and stuff like that. So stay tuned for all that. Talk to you again real soon, folks. Stay safe. Enjoy Paddy's Day, of course. Paddy's Day tomorrow. Happy Paddy's Day. Patrick's Day to all of us here in Ireland, mainly, and all the Irish around the world celebrating Paddy's Day, of course. We know the Yanks do it absolutely massively if you're around Chicago, New York, and stuff like that as well. And also belated Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, the backbone of what makes people so successful at times. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Belated Happy Mother's Day as well. That's it, folks. Talk to you again real soon. Cheers.